Freestyle Friday. This is going to be my first reaction video. Interesting. YouTube, Facebook, affiliated streets. It's your brother Free checking in. Hey, this is going to be different today, y'all. It's going to be a little different because this will be my first reaction video. I got to get in the mix a little bit on this one. Regarding the recent controversy of Big Sad from Playboy Gangster and Blueface from Schoolyard Crip, I deemed it only appropriate that I weigh in, not as a gang member though, not as a gang enforcer, but as a counselor, right? I don't want to weigh in as one of y'all. I want to weigh in as one who's observing y'all with insight as to what it is, you know, what type of pain you might be in, what type of problem you may be dealing with, right? So the first thing I want to do is, I know y'all have all heard this, all my YouTube people, right? I try not to get in this kind of thing, but something's pulling me into it. And I'm just going to respond this one time. If the response is what I believe, you know, kind of fits where I can fit into the solution to some of these problems, I'm going to come in and try to weigh in more often, right? Maybe that's, you know, one of the things I'm called to do. We'll find out. But let me run this real quick, man. Let me, this was kind of a thing I had to set up, y'all. So give me a second on this, man. Let me run this.
Yards. We first day in, I'm squabbling a tank twin. Where you from? Cause I'm squabbling on stank twanks and pool putts. Let's meet up and let's crash out. All this rapping and let's meet up and what's up? Football player? I was gang banging, you was playing football.
Comment your thoughts on this.
So apparently Blueface has made it home. And he's in the studio and he's rapping and he's putting some new raps together or whatever. And then he has decided in his raps, you know, I don't know if it's for the controversy value of it, how much he's aware of, you know, I think he understands what he's doing. I don't think he's doing it for the purpose of what he's doing it for, but I think he understands, right? What he's doing is to fit into the controversy in the nature of what, you know, he is as a rapper. I don't believe that him going in the studio, getting under the mic is by design for what he is as a gang member. I think he has those two things separated in his mind, right? But what they provoke, what they cause is another story, right? This is calculation, right? We're talking about calculation. Right, on this Freestyle Friday, y'all. Freestyle Friday, we're doing a reaction video for the reaction of Sad to the disrespect. It's two-part for him as well. right? Part of him, I believe, is saying this dude is a rapper. That's my area. But then he's disrespecting the set. That's my area as well. So it's a double entendre for him. He's coming at both issues, like, and then he's like going there, like, hey, man. And culturally, that's what it was. I'm just tell y'all, man, the response that Sad has is kind of where we were across that line from the Playboy gangsters in the schoolyards when the conflict started with us that caused a lot of death. That was the attitude we had, right? It wasn't pull up and die. It was pull up and unalive somebody, right? But I understand what he's saying in the context of what he's putting out there, right? I understand it. But this is where it becomes critical, right? Because this whole, as we was talking last night on the Hood Postman, shout to Melly Mel, shout to Avalon Blue, shout to my brother Malik, all my brothers, right? We're talking about blood in the streets. What can we do to stop some of the bloodshed, right? All of it if we can. The goal is all of it. But you got to start small and grow, right? This is a paradigm case for what we're talking about, where the younger homeboys, right, are feeding off of a conflict that began. Let me say this conflict we're talking about right here began 45 years ago. 45 years ago. I'm not even sure these brothers right here are 45 years of age. I'm not sure. I would question whether they were actually in their 40s. Potentially, the point is you weren't even alive when this conflict began, right? Nor were you a part of the effort that was put in to cease and desist and establish a truce with the schoolyards. We did that also in 1992, right? I'm going to say this, man. I'm going to go back to my history just to point out something, right? And this is a message for Blueface. Not so much Sad. But when you see my name, right, being one of the original Playboy gangsters, me and your G homies got into it all the time. We shot it out. We fought it out, right? All of that conflict, right? We did this in the juvenile hall system. We did it on the streets. We did it in the youth authority. But when we got to prison, a maturity happened. It happens, y'all. This really happens, and it happens naturally, right? My first write-up that I got when I went to SRCC and I was trying to get cleared to go to youth authority for my charges, right? Instead of being, because I was bound over as an adult, right? A lot I could say about that case that I never said. Me and Jesse James never talked about a part of that case that would be a problem for your homeboys, right? We never got into that, right? But I ended up in SRC on what they called a 90-day observation. On that 90-day observation, the first write-up I caught in SRCC that threatened my opportunity to make it back to YA and possibly be sent to prison was getting into it with your homeboy Big Wicked, rest in peace, my partner, man. Why am I calling him my partner? This is the early stage, but like I said, there's a maturity that happens, right? But the first write-up I got was with Lionel Gordon on a write-up, right? Getting into it with Wicked in SRCC in 1982. You hear me? 1982. How old were y'all when that was going on, man? Right? We're talking about now the basis of a problem, where it comes from, the origin of a problem, right? For your set, where does it come from, right? I would later go to the Youth Authority, TYTS, Ventura. But in Eastlake, hold on. Excuse me, y'all. So in Eastlake, we was into it all the time, right? When I got to YA, I got into it with y'all maybe 2 or 3 times, right? But when I got to prison, right after I got through Jamestown, me and Big Band with Sellies, me and the homie Lil James Compton recently, rest in peace. All of that, right? And then I leave from the hole and I go to Soledad. I go to Quentin, then I come down to Soledad, right? The first dude I met up with and had a conversation with on the yard at Night Yard in Soledad was your big homeboy Wicked, Lionel Gordon. First thing Wicked said to me was, Fat Rat, don't come up here with that bullshit. Because as far as he was concerned, and we were concerned as far as across the line on each other, we on the bullshit when it come to each other. Straight up. That's what it was, right? But in that period of time, 1987, I had grown a little bit. Wicked had grown a little bit. And this growth, here's the evidence of it. Wicked is like, don't come up here with that bullshit, Fat Rat. I'm like, what, man? I ain't on no bullshit. What you talking about? So we laugh and we chop it up, and he kind of gives me a little spiel about what's going on the yard, right? And I kind of had it already because I came from X-Wing, and my celly was my homeboy, one of the original homeboys from Godfather, Big Raw Dog. It was my celly. And he kind of, had been through that, and he's giving me an orientation, and I'm like, okay. But then we get to the yard, and I'm talking to Wicked. Wicked, we do this little thing, and he like, you need anything, homie? This your homeboy, Wicked. Rest in peace. I'm like, you know what? Matter of fact, I need some coffee and maybe about 5 or 10 soups, homie, and I'll get back to you. He like, where you at? I'm in C-Wing, yada, yada, yada. He like, all right, I'm going to get at you in the morning, homie. I spin, we go. I go find out a couple of other homies that I knew was on the yard and did my night yard, went to my cell. When I woke up that next morning after breakfast, there was a bag slid to the front of the door, and it had a few zoom zooms and wham whams, some soups, and a bag of coffee from your homeboy Wicked. From Schoolyard to Fat Rat from Playboy Gangster. Right? There's a lot of growth to get that to happen, man. It takes a lot of growth to get that to happen because we were enemies. And that's how we saw each other. But as you begin to mature, some of us mature individually and some of us take that maturity to affect maturity happening collectively. So the question is, did the schoolyard Playboy gangster conflict and the homies involved, the original homeboys who was involved in that, did we mature collectively or individually? That's the question, right? So I had some pictures. I didn't post them. But I got pictures of L Crazy Mike with some of my homeboys at a funeral, chopping it up, giving each other some dap. That's evidence of maturity, right? Big Blue, same thing, evidence of maturity. These y'all hitters, man. These are y'all's hitters. So at what point now this conversation, let's take it back, transition it back into everybody in the viewing audience. That was for Blueface. Where are we in 1992? When the Playboy Gangsters is in school, we at Queen Anne's Park at night, introducing ourselves to each other. Certain names is coming up and it's getting quiet. It's tension. Right? Where are we? Because what's the little homie name? Used to hit the water with Baby Labo, rest in peace, man. Ooh wee. Something like that in the set every day. And ain't nobody gonna bother him. Because we have an understanding and an agreement that there's a truce. Now, I've evolved, right? My gang banging days are far behind me, right? I'm only here to counsel. And what I'm going to say to y'all, hold on, I'm going to let Compton Rick Rock get in here. And I wanted to use his communication over the matter because it reflects an idea that I want to address. If you're on the thing calling me, homie, I gotta call you back. I'm doing it live. I'll call you right back. Hold on one second, y'all. Let's get Rick Rock in here.
I really don't got a reaction right now, but I want to speak on some things that caught my attention today. Today I seen a video with Blueface disrespecting a couple of hoods. By him disrespecting those hoods, a gang of people that we seen on the internet, such as King Pill, and it's another page on my Instagram page, a dude from BPS. By him doing that, it got these dudes. Now they dissing. I seen King Pill, instead he called him Blueface, he called him Flueface. And for y'all that know that's in the streets, they know that flu is a word of disrespecting Blue. Now we seen Cardi B do that a few years ago, and it seemed like a lot of people got on her bumper. I'm talking about it reached some people. You know what I mean? So that word right there, disrespectful. But this is what I want to say to Blueface, man. You know, you just getting out of jail. You had hits before you went to jail, and you back already. You in the game. You back, you know, on TV, on the internet, doing your thing. And I understand that you got to do something strenuous to get your clout back up, get your name back up. But man, that's not one way to do it. That's not one way to do it. Now I seen Big Sad 1900. He came on the internet and he's saying, man, I'm ready to get unalive for this. Let's me and you meet up and let's stop the plan and let's go ahead and get cracking. I'm ready to go. This is it right here, man. With all the stuff that's been going on, I think Blueface just getting out. He probably missed a lot of these dudes that been getting smoked. He probably heard about it in jail, but it's different when you in jail and being on the streets. Only thing I could think about all this, Blueface probably never been in juvenile hall. We seen when he first came out, when he was rapping at the high schools for the kids and stuff. I don't think he never been to juvenile hall, because if you've been to juvenile hall, you already know, man, you're going to squabble up. This is when you meet your enemies. This is when you meet dudes that your neighborhood don't get along with, and y'all get them phased out the way at a young age. By the time y'all hit YA and hit the prison yard, you see these dudes, it's like, it's gonna sound crazy, but y'all like family. Because you got to think about it. When you in juvenile hall, y'all in there probably a year. The most I done seen dudes probably do like 2 years sitting up in there. So when you see these dudes again, it's like y'all not tripping off the gangbanging stuff. Like, man, what's up, dude? Even though y'all from rival hoods. Everybody that been in jail, juvenile hall, YA to the prison, all them dudes, they got a mutual respect because they got them squabbles out the way when they was kids. Blueface, man, I met Blueface a couple of years ago. I was doing some work with Game, and I met Blueface, and you know, cool dude, mellow. But this right here, I haven't heard it. I don't really too much know a lot of his music, but I haven't heard him disrespect no hoods like he did today. That's definitely gonna cause some friction. And this is another thing, man. With you Bloods, you Crips, and you Power Rules, man, y'all getting on this internet, homie. Y'all talking about crab, y'all talking about slobs, y'all talking about daru. All these are disrespectful terms that'll get somebody smoked, homie. And then y'all doing it online. If y'all got a problem like that, get y'all ass offline and go meet up and get it out the way. If y'all still gangbanging and y'all getting on the line, go do what gangbangers do. Go load y'all clips up and go put that work in. Because this getting online, doing that, and this is what I want all the rest of the dudes in the streets. Don't think because what these dudes are saying that you got to take it out on a whole community. No, it's just them. So when y'all see them, y'all whoop their ass. Don't get on here and disrespect nobody whole hood. No, you see them dudes that's on there talking about flu. You see them dudes on there that's talking about slob. You see them dudes on there that's talking about crab. Y'all go get them. Y'all go get it out the way. Whoever got a problem with it, get off the internet and go handle y'all business. It seems like a lot of these dudes trying to entice other dudes to start some chaos.
Man, shout to Compton Rick Rock for his spiel on that, man. The only part of that I would advise on is to remember something about this. This is a whole problem. Like, this is and he's addressing it. He's saying, if y'all want to be this gang banging and do what gangbangers do, go deal, right, and kill each other. Listen, man, this is what my argument is. If it's going to just be that as a gang member, right, as a part of a gang, right, a part of an area where y'all tried to get some things cracking for the best interest of y'all, and it morphed into this foolishness, and now we in a death culture, right? I wouldn't advise that between Blueface and Sad. I wouldn't advise that. Y'all giants, man. You two brothers is young giants. I would advise, right, in the instance that the disrespect has happened and you've provoked, remember that disrespect is, we could do it mano. We could do it one-on-one if you address it one-on-one. If you say fuck Fat Rat, then me and you can get in. But if you say fuck Playboy Gangster, you ain't gonna just get a response from Fat Rat. It's a lot of dudes that's gonna want to deal with you because you're disrespecting everybody under that banner at that point. So when you do that, you invite the response of everybody because you said it in general to everybody. If you speak specifically, then you can get a specific response. That's how that has always worked. This the set, you dealing with the set. This the homie, you dealing with, you can be dealing with the homie. But once you go out there like that, man, that's where you at, right? Ain't no reeling that back in according to the old way of doing things, right? I don't know of a way of isolation once you diss the set. I don't know that. I've never seen that. Me and you, it could be me and you who get down behind the disrespect, but it ain't got to necessarily be me and that homie who said it. I might not catch him. I put the word out, man. That dude disrespect anybody who catches him, handle that. right? That's one way of looking at it. Isolation, what he's saying is a good thing. Like, if we can get to a point of isolation, we can also get to a point of resolution, because now we got a conflict. If we can appeal to the set, hey, homie, let's let these dudes resolve it in a way that fosters progress. We don't have to lose either one of these young warriors, man, these young giants, to no gang shit. That's a mistake. Man, ain't no, I don't know if Sad is saying you 6 years late. Like, we ain't been involved in doing none of that shit for 6 years. I don't know if that's what he's saying, but I know it to be longer than that, other than what the young brothers may have done in error, occasional bumping into each other and not having the proper skill set to manage it and stuff like that. That could happen. That could happen. But in the larger sense of us being across La Brea, right? And y'all trying to be across La Cienega, I don't know if it's been any of that. Between the schoolyards and the Playboys, I have not heard of any of that. And I am in communication, right? So I'm going to say this, man. What I would propose, this is what I would propose, right? Because we have to start this process where qualified homies on communication, right? Set up conflict resolution, lawful dialogue, right? If Blueface's goal in that, because it's a whole new internet, social media, controversy, sales, culture, that's real. That's, you could be selling and disrespecting at the same time, but you're getting controversy, and the controversy is running your numbers up. So then now it's a money grab. It ain't necessary that you want somebody to come run down on you and turn your car over with 227 long grains or nothing. You ain't looking for that. You looking for likes and clickbait, right? And you looking for that. Popularity. Brother got popularity. Both of these little brothers, little giants, got popularity. Why would we want to lose them? These are assets to each one of the sets. They assets. Them little brothers come on the internet and 500,000 people want to hear what they got to say. Right? Who's taking on the responsibility of making sure that they say something of substance when that 500,000 people come in there to deal with them, to pay attention to them? Who's taking on the responsibility of doing that? Who's even introducing them to the idea? Yeah, y'all could do a diss track in the same studio, and the proceeds from that diss track that y'all went on and got off y'all chest, right, could benefit the not-for-profit organization that the schoolyards own, and benefit the not-for-profit organization that the Playboy Gangsters own. And there's a bam, enraged we build. Right? We take that energy and we build something constructive with that energy to deter future instances like that from ever happening. Does that make sense? Or am I dreaming? If I'm dreaming, don't, like Dame Dash, don't stop me while I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming right now, right? But listen to my dream. You listen to Martin Luther King's dream. Listen to your homeboy Fat Rat's dream. Right? We gotta take charge. You gotta have homeboys, like I've been saying, man. I'm not changing my conversation without some adversity, without a challenge to the conversation or the point, and somebody turn it over for me. I'm taking it and going as far as I can with it. We take these things and we build with them, man. We don't want to lose these little giants, man. Right? Publicity stunt that shit. Take the constructive approach and make that a publicity stunt. Ain't no sense in nobody don't go. Ain't nobody for that little shit he popped on his little rap. That's the Playboy gangsters have historically not gotten along with the schoolyard Crips, man. And disrespect is disrespect. But in this day and age, we ain't in the old school era, right? Because if we was in the old school era, right, the meet up and die wouldn't be the conversation. The meet up and let's get it up would be the conversation, right? But we changed that. We been changed that, right? We trying to fill graveyards with people, man. That's been what it is, right? Now we got to change that. We have to become this constructive, progressive movement. And who better, right, than two of our young stars, right, off that west side, right? Put a game plan together to take the controversy and manipulate the bloodsuckers. Because you've been being manipulated by the bloodsuckers of the poor since you hit the ground running. You've been manipulated the whole time by the bloodsuckers of the poor. You gonna keep letting them win? We're gonna encourage them to go on and kill each other? Now let's build, man. Let's take that controversy and make fools out of everybody watching. Not y'all. Y'all don't need to be made fools of. Like, right? We need to take that energy, take that publicity, right? And use it as a stunt. Blow it all the way out of proportion with an agreement in the background that this is a publicity stunt, homie. We about to use this to structure our 501c3 and 4s, right? To do a concert or a tour, a beef tour, right? He come on, I come on, we come on together. Millions of dollars. Them niggas don't even really get along for real. Publicity stunt. We got to take this stuff, man, and build with it, man. Channel your anger. Control your anger before your anger takes control of you. That's what we got to do, man. We can't keep going down this road agreeing to foolishness, man, because that's how we used to do it. We have to look at the landscape, right? And say, you know, the way we did things in the mid 70s is a little different from how things got in the 80s. Then in the mid 80s going forward, you know, when the crack era hit, we would start doing things just a little bit different. Right? Then when we start learning how to travel and make moves and meeting people, that we had family members all over the country and we had the plug and all that, we start moving a little different. Right? Now we in the social media era. It's a different era. We don't have to disrespect these young brothers because they own something different than what we was on, man. We don't have to disrespect them because we can't identify the value in them. That's crazy, man. Skinny jeans, and I can show you pictures of artists in the 50s who wore skinny suits, skinny pants suits, pompadours and all that, right? In the 50s and 60s, right? We don't have to disrespect them because of their style, they swag, they get down. What we want to do is grab a hold of that energy, that spirit, and guide it to our success. Ain't no surprise that this is leading to your demise. Both of you guys. Open your eyes and realize you could form an enterprise and blind everybody who was watching, man. Listen, man. You know I'm a rapper, right? That was a little old school, but I'm saying I can get in there though, right? If y'all want me to do the diss track in response to Blueface, let me know. Hit me Yeah, y'all probably do want to hear me do a diss track in response to Blueface, but I would never do that, right? Of course, I would not be allowed to do nothing like that because I am a soldier in God's army. So I can't get in there like that. I wouldn't want to though, bro. I'm just saying I would highly encourage that y'all take some perspective from what this video is telling y'all. If it makes sense to you all, put it to use, man. If it don't, throw it away, man. Burn it. We got a brother who out there, man, who's an arsonist, man. Burn that stuff if you don't appeal. If it doesn't appeal to you, you know what I mean, and your way of thinking, and you think you got something better as a strategy or a method, then burn what I'm saying, man. Don't hold on to it. I ain't talking about nothing at that point. But with that being said, man, it is your brother, man. Let me see how I can get out of here. Here we go. Let's do this. Hold on one second, y'all. Okay, I'm trying to clear this all up. I got it cleared up. Okay. But with that being said, what y'all think, man? Talk to me. Put something in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think. I just got a call from one of my homeboys. I'm finna call him back. I don't know if he was listening to me and finna give me some more information. If he does, then I'll update what my statements and comments were. Big Sad, man. You got that rap thing pretty nice, bro. Both of y'all young brothers do, man. Y'all got them skills pretty nice, man. Don't let nobody talk you into no foolishness, man. And then don't follow your emotions, right? Rise above your emotions. In every instance that you experience them, you have to build intelligence with your emotions. You have to be emotionally intelligent. Both of y'all, man. You got to rise above your emotions into the thinking of God. Because y'all are young gods. Y'all done went above the norms, right? Y'all are stars on the Playboy Gangsters and stars on the Schoolyard Crips, man. We don't want to knock no stars out of the sky, man, on no bullshit, man. Use that stuff constructively, man. Team up with that shit, man. And go after your bread, man, and don't go after it as a greedy person. Go after it in this particular instance for the empowerment of the schoolyards and the empowerment of the Playboy Gangsters. That be the problem, man. We establish a truth and then we don't put nothing on it. That's an opportunity to put something on it, y'all. Think about what I'm saying, man. If it counts, use it. If it don't, throw it away, man. Right? I just made an offering. Something to consider, man. That being said, man, y'all continue to have a blessed one. Let me see how I'm going to get out of here. I can't get out of here. I don't got nothing for y'all. Wait a minute. Let me get out of here this way. Wait. This is tripping, man. Wait. What are we doing, man? Well, I don't even know what I'm doing no more. Yeah, I do. I just want to do this, though. Why is that doing that? I got that blocked. I ain't going to trip, y'all. I'm going to just get out of here the regular way. That being said, y'all continue to have a blessed one, all right? Peace.